Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's your boy Crazy Out Kane, sugarcane.com, CACTV, back again with another Bike of the Month feature. That's right, we're going to talk about the top 5 bikes that were featured in March 2024. All right, so March 2024 has some nice bikes submitted by a bunch of people, and we're going to start with bike number 5 on the list, and that bike is a 2022 Skyway TA. This bike has all kinds of cool color-coded treats on it with the blue grips, chrome bars, chrome fork, chrome frame. It has the classic blue and red Skyway decals on it. You got the classic Skyway pads on the handlebar and also on the frame. You know this bike is meant for cruising around and chilling with that big comfy seat on there. And he also has a seat post that has a shock on it, so a nice little suspension while he's riding around. So that's what's up. Big shout out to Sean Ray for submitting this bike, and Sean Ray said he had a 1984 Skyway that he bought with money he earned from his paper route, and he wished he still had it. So now he's got this 2020 Skyway he built up in honor of that 1984 Skyway he had, and he submitted it here right to Bike of the Day, and it's now at number 5 on the Bike of the Month chart for March. Now that we know about the inspiration for this build, let's check out those parts, son. So this bike has a red, white, and blue KMC chain, a limited edition S&M American flag stem, 180mm redline flight cranks, ANSA V brakes and brake lever, anodized blue SE rims and hubs with red nipples. He's got a Merit and profile headset, anodized blue MCS front sprocket, and a red spider. He's got blue AME grips, a Knight seat post clamp, MZYRH pedals, box brake shoes, and a box chain tensioner, and that nice Cush Cloud 9 seat and the Cloud 9 shock absorber seat post. Sean said he's 53, so he gotta have that cush when he's sitting down, you know what I mean? Sean put a lot of effort into putting his bike together. You can see he was really focused on how he was gonna balance the color. Definitely wanna know what you guys think about this build right here. Of course, do you think it belongs in 5th place for the month, or do you think it should go higher or maybe lower? Let me know in the comments below, and also come back to sugarcane.com, give this bike a rating, so that way we can see where it's going to wind up on the Bike of the Year chart. So as of right now, 6 people gave this bike a rating on the website. They gave the color an overall score of 8.01, originality 7.19, parts 8.08, and overall style 7.97, giving it a total rating score of a 7.81. So definitely come back to sugarcane.com, give this bike a rating, and let's find out where it winds up on the Bike of the Year chart. Next up, coming in 4th place, we have a 1995 Harrow Group 1 BMX Cruiser. That's a classic frame design that we were all in love with back in the day when Harrow first started getting into the racing side of things. This one is nice and polished, chrome plated parts, also anodized gold parts on it as well, along with the black parts to round off the colorway on the bike. It's looking real fresh, like I always say, because it is fresh. So it's fresh. That's right, it's fresh. This bike was submitted by Mike Kaslow, who said he had many 24-inch BMX bikes and he really loved the geometry on this Harrow. He said he could manual and jet hop better on this than any of his other cruisers. Mike is from Long Island, New York, all the way out in Ronkonkoma, and Suffolk Pro Cycles raised him and helped him with his components for the last 10 years. Mike now resides in Louisville, and I want to give him a big shout out and thanks for taking the time out to take some photos and give us that part list of this really dope classic bike. Now that we know about the inspiration for this build, you already know what time it is. Let's check out those parts, son. All right, so this bike has GT cheat code handlebars on it, Stay Strong 24-inch race forks. He has a Theory bottom bracket, profile spider, a 42 tooth profile chainring, a titanium 48 spline spindle, profile race cranks, SC pedals, Chris King headset, turbo seat, Diacomp seat clamp, Diacomp Tech 77 brake lever, Diacomp cantilever brakes. On the rear, he has a Harrow RC8 rim with a Harrow hub. On the front end, he has a Rhino Light rim and Joytech hub with animal stickers. Tioga power block tires on the front and rear, Billet BMX D's nuts axle bolts on the front and the rear, DK seat post, Origin 8 Hornet freewheel, and KMC cool chain. And as you can see, the D's nuts axle bolts are also in gold, so that's a nice little added touch for the flavor. As of this taping, only 4 people came and gave this bike a rating, and they gave the color a 7.46, originality 7.97, parts 8.02, overall style 8.09, giving it a total rating score of a 7.89. Coming in 3rd place At podium position number 3 is the Fornix Atom R20 Pro XL. Yes, this is the chromoly version of the Fornix Atom, and it still has the same style dropout, which is very elaborate, especially for a chromoly bike. It has a disc brake mounts, and it has that nice copper colorway along with those gumwall tires, which makes the bike really stand out. Black highlights all over the place. This bike just looks real solid and ready to race. Only problem though, no pedals. Why are there no pedals on this bike? People have to submit complete bikes when they submit them to Bike of the Day, so really it should get less points in the parts department because they sent it without pedals. So keep that in mind when you're rating these bikes. It may be a fly bike, may be real dope, crazy dropout, all that good stuff, but no pedals. This bike was submitted by Johan Dodler, who also owns Fornix. So big up to Johan for that, much appreciated, and keep sending them joints. Being that this bike is a chromoly bike, you know, you can also take this one to the trails and have some fun with it too. I mean, you can still have fun with an aluminum bike, of course, but this bike is definitely able to handle both situations with no problem. You can race with it, or you can take it to the trails and have some fun with it. Johan said he wanted to propose another style of the Atom R with this more street chill than the previous Atom R Ultra Race with carbon parts to demonstrate that this frame is very versatile. Alright, so now that you know about the inspiration for this bike, let's talk about those parts, son! So once again, the frame is an Atom R Pro XL. He's got Fornix chromoly forks. He's got a generic headset on it. There's no name, he just said generic headset. Profile racing stem, S&M racing bars, ODI Vans grips, Hope Tech 4x2 brake, profile racing crank, Fornix chainring, Azumi chain, Alienation black sheep rims, Fornix hub, Shimano disc, Fornix combo seat, and the IRC Siren Comp tires on this bad boy right here. As of this taping, only 8 people gave this bike a rating with a total color score of an 8.65, originality 8.75, parts 8.04, overall style 8.76, giving this a total rating score of an 8.55, putting it in 3rd place on the Bike of the Month chart. That's right. So remember now, March is over, but you can still rate these bikes for Bike of the Year. So definitely come back and do that. Coming in 2nd place. The second place podium position right there, the silver medal for March 2024, we have a 2022 Jayhawk 24-inch cruiser. I love those Jayhawk frames, especially when they paint them, and this one right here is painted in a nice purple. We got some chrome going on there. We got the unique Jayhawk fork on there. Man, this bike is full of some really cool and unique parts, and let's get into it right now. This beautiful bike right here was submitted by John Dyer, who says he's seen the Jayhawk and instantly wanted one, so he reached out to Jim and was lucky enough to get one before Jim closed up shop. So they don't make the Jayhawks anymore. At least I don't think they do. I gotta go do some research on that. Anybody who knows if Jayhawk is still making frames, definitely put it in the comment section. But those frames are amazing. I love them. Featured a couple of them before on Bike of the Day, but I think this one right here is probably the best looking one that we've gotten. Big shout out to John Dyer for submitting this bad boy. And with that being said, let's check out those parts, son. So this bike has a lot of unique and dope treats on it, and we're gonna start with the frame once again. It's a Jayhawk 24-inch cruiser in a Holden purple colorway. He's got the Jayhawk forks that are professionally polished, looking real fresh, super unique forks. You can't get forks like this anywhere but from Jayhawk. This thing is crazy. The big, bulky, and boxy Jayhawk stem, which looks real fresh. It's got the branding embossed on the sides. It's a bottom load stem, not a top load stem. Brooks slender leather grips. Bush V bars, which look like they are 6-piece bars. Pretty fresh. Physic Antares versus Evo R1 adaptive seat. That is the name of this seat right here. Once again, the Physics Antares versus Evo R1 adaptive seat. With a name like that, it must have a lot of tech going into it. Looks like it might be a nice cush seat. Yeah, anybody knows about Physics seats, definitely hit me in the comments. Let me know what type of seat this is. Is it a cush seat? Is it hard? Is it rigid? What makes this seat so special, and why does it have such a long name? So let me know in the comments below. He's got a Paul quick release seat post clamp, Paul clamper brakes, Paul Love Lever brake levers, Jaguar CGX SL brake cable. He's got those crazy fresh looking 5-dev Enduro cranks, along with the 5-dev Enduro flat pedals, 5-dev Spacely sprocket chainring, ceramic speed SRAM dub BSA bottom bracket, Tempo BMX carbon fiber rims with the custom logo, Tioga power block tires, Depresta valve Tubolito inner tubes, rainbow titanium spokes. His rear hub is an Onyx SS with a 200mm disc. Front hub is an Onyx Helix, a ceramic speed UFO racing chain, and a Cane Creek headset. First of all, I just want to say, this bike looks crazy. Colorway is bananas. It's got to be $3 or better with the price tag on this bike because of the stuff that he has on here. All of it's expensive. Even the headset, the Cane Creek headset. Come on, man. He's got those Tempo carbon rims on there with Onyx hubs. This bike is about as high end as you can get without having carbon, of course. It's not a carbon frame, it's an aluminum frame, but it's a very, very unique and specialized frame which can handle the racetrack just like any other bike can handle the BMX racetrack. This bike is just a work of art. And truthfully, I thought this would be #1 for the month of March. I'm surprised it's #2 with all of the features and the uniqueness of the frame itself, but it's only in second place. It's only a second place frame. Let's go and see what the people thought of this frame. As of this recording, we only have 8 people that rated this bike. Now, this bike definitely should have way more ratings than this because this bike is fire. So out of the 8 people, the total overall color score is an 8.32, originality 8.97, parts 8.84, overall style 8.96, giving this bike a total rating score of an 8.77. Now, do you guys think this should have a higher rating? Do you think it should have a lower rating? Where do you guys think this bike should be in the chart for the month? And also, what do you think this bike should be in the chart for the year? I put links in the description for the Bike of the Month chart and also for the 2024 Bike of the Year chart. It's up to you guys who are watching out there. I know y'all watching. If y'all can just take the time now. Come to the site, click on a couple of pages, and give the bikes a rating. And with that being said, we are going to go to the #1 bike, the top bike, the best bike, according to the viewers, that was featured in March 2024. And that bike is I Am Cook, a 2022 I Am Cook BMX racing bike. It's the OS 20 size bike. I Am Cook is such a dope bike, and they've been getting a lot of love this year, especially on Bike of the Day. So this beautiful bike right here was submitted by Cameron Margison, who is also a member of sugarcane.com, so you can come check him out on his profile page. So big shout out to Cam for not only submitting the bike, but also joining the site and becoming a member. Big up to you for that. And Cam said about this bike that he really wanted to build an OS 20 bike. He loves the feel of his cruiser, so he wanted to get that same feeling with his class bike. He saw an I Am Cook cruiser at his local track and fell in love with the design and reached out to Tony at I Am Cook. Handcrafted bicycles, of course. Tony and Erica were awesome to work with. The color is one of my favorite parts of the bike. He's always wanted to build a pink bike, and Tony mentioned transparent raspberry, and he was sold on the color. He wanted to set the frame off in the build, and because it was so glossy and wet, he chose all matte black components. He said the forks are out of this world, and he absolutely loves them. They really bring the bike together. He loves this bike, and it's smooth as butter. So now that we know about the inspiration on this bike right here, let's talk about those parts, son. All right, so to start it off, once again, we got a 2022 I Am Cook OS 20 in transparent raspberry. The forks are I Am Cook OS 20 forks. Chris King headset, Supercross carbon bars, Vans grips, MT4 Magora disc brakes and lever, Industry 9 31.8 stem, E6 silencer OS 20 rims with pink accents, a Onyx Helix hub in the front and a Profile Elite hub in the rear. He's got 177.5mm box M30P cranks. He's got a box bottom bracket, Renan chainring, and he's got the fun Mamba clipless pedals with flats. So you could do both. You got the flip-flop pedal, so you can do a clipless on one side or you could do flat on the other. I love the seat post clamp. That's the seat post clamp right there. It's like done in the frame, and it's just really dope. And if you haven't noticed, the I Am Cook has a gusset right here between the down tube and the seat tube and bottom bracket. So there's a gusset right there for some extra stiffness. This is all kind of freshness going on with the I Am Cook, and all the more reason why it's #1. And you also have that beautiful I Am Cook badge right there with the paw print badge that comes on all the bikes. Real dope. So as of this recording, the 2022 I Am Cook OS20 BMX racing bike has gotten 26 ratings. That's right, 26 people came and gave this bike a rating, giving it a total color score of a 9.34, originality 9.49, parts 9.53, overall style 9.44, giving this bike an overall rating score of a 9.45. That's right, the people came out and showed this bike some love, and I need you guys to come and show all the other bikes some love so we can have some nice competition going on here. But I gotta say, on some realness, that Jayhawk needs to get some more ratings, y'all. I want to see some more ratings on that Jayhawk, most definitely. All the bikes, of course, but that Jayhawk right there, man, it's got that unique style. It's got everything going for it. I definitely want to see what happens throughout the year with the I Am Cooks, where they're going to wind up at the end of the year. But also that Jayhawk, man, that thing is going to give a lot of bikes to run for their money. And there's other bikes that are also featured that are real fresh. But that Jayhawk, though, that Jayhawk, let's find out where it winds up on the chart. So that was the top 5 BMX bikes that were featured on Bike of the Month in March 2024. All these bikes are ranked and rated by the viewers. It's all about your participation to make these bikes go up or down or just stay in the same place in the charts. All right, so this is Crazy Al Kane, Bike of the Month, sugarcane.com. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and that's it. Back to you, Billy.